Welcome to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast, your go-to resource for personal development and coaching. I'm your host, Leticia Ringe, and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm Leticia Ringe, your coach and host, and it's a pleasure to be here with you all today. So as I record today's episode, I'm in London. I am enjoying the hottest weather in London. This is my first summer in London since 2019, and I've decided to stay for the summer because the weather has been so amazing, which for me means lots of sunshine. I have been out in the sun almost every single day, soaking it in, laying in the grass, sunbaking, as we call it in Australia, which I've been sharing over on Instagram on my stories, and dancing all across London and just enjoying a summer in London that I've literally never experienced because I haven't experienced a summer in London that has had so much sunshine. It has been beautiful, and the thing that London always teaches me is to really lean into what the weather and what the season is bringing, because you really don't know whether you're going to get that kind of experience again. So I love that because it leads me to being present and to focus on prioritizing what is rather than whatever my schedule is. So one of the things I love to do personally with my business is whatever I can move around, I move around according to what I feel like doing with the current day. And that means the weather. So because the sun is shining and I want to get as much sun in my body and enjoy the day as much as possible, looks like me moving things around so that I'm working more in the evenings rather than during the day so I can get out and enjoy. And I just love that my business and the way that I've set it up enables me to do that so that I'm always in charge of how I spend my time. I still am getting everything I need to done. It's just that I get to actually work with how I want to spend my day based on what is actually happening in the day. And most of that I'm not going to know or feel until the day itself, right? So if I wake up and it's beautiful and sunny, then I can decide, okay, today I want to get out as much as possible in the sunshine. So I'm going to move these things around so I can do that. And it really is so amazing to have created a career that allows me to do something I love that feels really significant and meaningful and also is still professional and successful. And I'm able to center myself and my fulfillment and my best working style at the center of my career, at the center of my life. And this is what it means to really be holistic in the way that you approach your business. And what that does is set me up for a world-class experience of not only my business and my leadership, but also my life, because I am at the center of this ecosystem. So this is what we've been sharing so far in this world-class podcast series here, all about business and leadership for her. And I hope that you've been able to see how just with changing the way you approach and look at your business or career, you're able to actually design it in a way that truly allows you to thrive, and that gives you the intentional and sustainable as well as aligned business success you're after. Truly, you can create whatever you want. And that has been my mission from the very beginning of my business. And I'm so glad that it's still here with me today. So in today's episode, I want to give you more information about World Class, which is my hybrid one-to-one and business mastermind program for those of you who are business owners and also for those of you who work in the coaching and personal development industry. I'm going to give you all the information you need to know. I'm going to tell you about why I created it, why I've created this to replace my former mastermind, which was called the Holistic Business Mistress Mind. And I'm going to give you all the information you need to know to make an informed decision about whether you want to apply for the current round in 2025, which begins on the 14th of July, or whether you want to get all your ducks in a row so that you can apply the next time we open up enrollment. And that will be to start in 2026. So one of the things I've noticed in the conversations I've been having with female entrepreneurs and also with people who work in the coaching and personal development industry, and that would be those of you who are coaches, therapists, consultants, mentors, facilitators, course creators, online teachers, etc., whatever title you like to use. If you help people develop themselves, or you hold space for people, or you help people through a transformational process towards their goals, or to show show up as the best version of themselves, to decondition themselves from programs that are limiting them, etc., you work in the coaching and personal development industry. And I absolutely love this industry so much, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. Now, I also love business and entrepreneurship. And so when I decided back in 2017 to build a personal development business, quickly I learned, oh, hey, that's what being a life coach is about. And so I went and got certified as a life coach, my first life coaching certification, and then went on to certify in lots of different modalities, as well as another coaching certification. And I truly love everything about this industry. Now, in my conversations I have with people in the industry, as well as people within entrepreneurship, what I've been noticing is there seems to be this, you have to choose between two different ways of being supported. Either you go into a mastermind, which usually is about 25 to 30 people plus, or you go into a one-to-one coaching program, which is where you're working with a one-to-one business coach, right? And typically, either you do the mastermind or you do the one-to-one coaching, and sometimes you'll do a group coaching program as well, which in many cases is run very similarly to the mastermind. And what I've noticed is that when you're in these big group spaces, in a mastermind or a group coaching program, it's very easy to get lost in that big group. And a lot of people walk away feeling like they weren't supported in the personalized touch they needed in order to help them get clear about what their business and leadership needs, and in also just to feel empowered as they move through that program. Now, my response to this was to create a mastermind, which I ran for 6+ years, called the Holistic Business Mistress Mind. I always kept that program at 12 to 15 people max. And not only did I keep it at 12 to 15 people max, I also always had 2 mastermind calls every week that we ran the mastermind. So this meant that on a call, there would be generally a max of 7 to 8 people. Now, sometimes one call would have more on it than the others because that was a call people could attend for that week. But generally, there was going to be 7 to 8 people max, and there would never, ever be more than 12 to 15, right? And it would be very likely it would be less than 10. Now, I did this because I always wanted every single person to be able to show up and get the support they needed. And we tried different approaches to this. We tried each person having a set turn in the hot seat at least every second call, and then always having space for those who needed support on a call that maybe weren't scheduled to have support to be able to put their hand up again and receive support. And that was really great. Now, I also created that mastermind because what I saw and what I was hearing from people about their mastermind experiences is that it wasn't really a mastermind, it was really group coaching. And what I saw was the value of an actual mastermind experience. So I wanted to create that for my clients. So what I did was use my background as a women's circle facilitator to create a mastermind where each woman got to be seen and heard on her journey, and where each woman supported the other women in the mastermind. Now, I found this so incredibly important, rather than it being run like a group coaching program, which is just basically where you all rock up and then the coach supports each of the people who are the client or the students. Instead, yes, I would support all of my clients and students, but I would also be facilitating the other women in the mastermind, supporting their peers as well. And the reason for this was because they could then get the mastermind experience where they're not just dealing with one mind, which would be mine and their own, but they'd be dealing with truly a mastermind, which is a collection of individuals and peers who are all moving in the same direction. That is incredibly powerful. Now you're getting the mind from 15 or 12 people rather than from 2. Okay. And then what was even more valuable that I just could never get over because it was so mind-blowing was the way the women showed up when they were giving support and advice to other women. Because it was a requirement that they support the other women, because they would each have a turn to actually step up and support the other women who were being supported, they needed to look inside themselves for what they would advise them, what they could see. And because they were supporting these women on their business journeys and the business was not their business, they were able to be more objective. This allowed them to access their own power and leadership in deeper ways than when they were leading their own businesses. So think about this. If you are giving advice to a friend in business, you're going to be more objective with the advice you give that friend because it's not your business. But when it's your business, this is when you get insecure. This is when you're so up close to the details, it's hard to see and zoom out to see the bigger perspective. But with your friend, it's much easier. So what I discovered was that many of my clients who I'd worked with one-to-one as well, when they went into the mastermind space, they were showing up way more confidently. They weren't also able to hide so much. Of course, in a one-to-one space, you can't hide because you're there one-to-one with a coach, but you're less likely to hide in a mastermind space where you have to show up as your best self and give guidance and support to other people, because then you're letting the team down. And there's something very powerful about this. And of course, at the same time, this needs to be cared for in a really careful way, because it's easy to feel overwhelmed and then to go invisible. And so that's where the women's circle facilitation came in really knowing how to deal with different personalities, how to facilitate a group and make sure every woman is supported in the way they need to be supported and also truly heard and seen. Now, this meant when I was receiving people into the Mistress Mind, I would always have a conversation with them about the way they're motivated. Are they the type of people who, if other people in the group seem further along or are having more, inverted commas, success, particularly financial success, are they likely to get demotivated and want to pull out and hide? Are they likely to stop running the race, right? Or are they the kind of people who get inspired by this, who want to keep up, who are going to now start running faster and harder because they can see the potential, because they're inspired by these people? It actually gives them energy. And I told them to really think hard and clear about what that is for them. And both are great, because the way you're motivated is really important and will tell you what program is best for you. I know for me, when I have people who are further along than me, this motivates and inspires me. I know for me, at the beginning of my coaching journey, these are the people that I wanted to be around. But I also know that there are many people who don't feel that way, who, when there are people who are much further along or who are seeing more success than them, they use that as a reason to give up. So I was very careful about the people I was letting in, that these people were the kind who would be motivated. And some of them actually didn't know what the answer was, but they went away and thought, you know what, I think I should be in a room such as this, because the power of that environment I can see is maybe going to give me more confidence. And that is what I was seeing time and time again. And so that's why I moved out of one-to-one coaching and focused on the holistic business Mistress Mind. Now, then we have one-to-one coaching. Now, while I ran the Holistic Business Mistress Mind, that was my signature primary offer. Most of my clients were in that program. However, I would take occasionally a person on in a one-to-one capacity who really didn't want to be in the mastermind and they really just wanted to work with me one-to-one. These were usually people who were at a more established place in their business. They were usually making more than six figures, and so I was helping them to position their business for multiple six figures and beyond. So they'd have a team, they were very well established, and they really wanted my one-to-one partnership and support. Now, I loved working with these people too, and obviously one-to-one personalized attention is so incredibly powerful, because when you're a business owner, no matter what stage of your business you're in, and no matter how many people you have working in your team, no matter how many clients you have, you will feel overwhelmed with decision-making responsibilities and you will feel alone. Isn't that wild? Even though you actually have more people that you're working with, you'll feel more alone because all of the responsibility and decision-making for your business is on you. And so the more your business grows, the more you feel that weight. And sometimes it can feel unbearable. And that's why these people really want one-to-one support. I have been there as well. And so the role that I play for these people who were obviously paying more to work with me one-to-one quite significantly, I became a partner to them in their business. I would help them make those decisions. Of course, they're still the leader of their business, but I was there to help share that responsibility. I was there to also help them to feel not so alone in that journey of leading their business. And that is worth every single moment of your time, and it is worth so much in terms of a financial investment because it's what keeps you sane throughout the process. And of course, you're then able to get an objective viewpoint from me as your partner who isn't so up close and emotionally attached to the details of your business, which allows you to make better decisions for the business. So one-to-one has a really amazing role, and it's also so incredibly helpful for those of you who maybe aren't as established in your business journey, so that you get that personalized attention, so that you have that partnership support, and also so that you don't feel alone as well in the leadership of your business. But usually in the coaching industry, you can only choose from one or the other. And as I've been working in the relationship space over the past year and a half and working more and partnering more with people one-to-one and doing really, really deep transformational work to help shift protective patterns that are getting in the way of my clients' core desires in a relational context, I started to see how important this same work is with my business clients. And I could also see how this needed to be done in a one-to-one capacity. So, as the seeds were being planted over the past couple of years since I closed down my holistic business Mastermind back at the end of 2022, and then have been feeling into what this next evolution is in terms of my business coaching, I then suddenly had the clarity that what I wanted to provide for you all was one of those unique spaces where you get both the business mastermind and that one-to-one coaching partnership and support, so that you don't need to choose between the two, but so that you're actually supported in what I see is the highest, best possible way you could be supported. So you're not going to go into a business mastermind and get lost because you'll have one-to-one support. And you're not going to only get one-to-one support and not have that powerful environment of women who are moving in a similar direction to you that you can only get through being in a group and a mastermind. And not only that, not only are you going to be in a mastermind and a group, but you're going to be in one that's capped at 12 to 15 people, and that's actually ran as a mastermind with a women's circle facilitator leading it. So you are carefully supported in a way that's inclusive, in a way where you feel welcome, where you're getting that personalized attention based on what you need. And that I can only give you from one-to-one attention, from learning about you, working with you one-to-one, and then being able to support you in a group environment. It just makes me so incredibly happy that I've been able to create this, because in my time with my clients in the holistic business Mistress Mind, I felt that I wanted more of that one-to-one support for them all, but I just couldn't see a way to do that because it requires so much extra of my time. But I decided this year that this is the program and the offer that I believe in, and it's what I see lacking in our industry, and it's truly what I want to bring. So I'm interested in partnering with 12 to 15 women in their business and leadership journeys. I'm interested in being your partner in making those decisions and in leading your business. I'm also interested in providing you with environments, with a group where you will be expanded because of the people around you. And I'm also interested in helping you get better at your actual craft, at your expertise, at whatever that is inside the product or service you're providing in your business or your career. So if you're a coach, it's probably some sort of coaching, or maybe it's an online course. I want you to deliver the best online course, or the best coaching, or the best mastermind, or the best circles, or the best retreats, or whatever product or service it is for you. If you don't know what that is, I want to help you create that. And not only that, I want to support you to thrive within your life and as the leader of your business. I want you to be world-class across your life. I want you to keep expanding across your life. So that if there is a life goal that you have, or if something's happening in your life, you have a space to support you through that. Because I really believe, especially for those of you who do work in the coaching and personal development industry, our life is always informing and almost leading our business, and especially our content. So you need support with that aspect as well. And sometimes, because business is so overwhelming, there's so much new to learn always, it's easy for your life to be deprioritized. But in my world-class model, you'll see the very first topic that we spoke about out of the 5 pillars, which are the last 5 episodes, was actually about your life. We want to make sure that is centered. What do you want for your life outside of your business? And we want to make sure the way you show up in life and in business / your career is setting you up so that you as a human, as a woman, and as an individual are thriving. So it's also crucial that you're operating your business and your life in a way that truly allows for that. And that's something I'm super passionate about. I've been teaching women how to better understand themselves, how to work with their body, their mind, and their intuition so that they're leading their lives in the best and most optimal way for them. So in World Class, we're drawing on and supporting you with all of this. And what you use this program for each season may be different. Perhaps one season you're using it to create your world-class offer because you know you need to get clarity on that. So many of the women I work with, they've got many offers on the table and they haven't decided which offer is the core offer that they're growing. It might be that you need a brand new offer, or it might mean that you need to decide between the offers you already have. And then once you've got that world-class offer, you know what you're focusing your business model around, you then need to make sure you validate that offer. And validating that offer means working out how to market and sell that offer so that it's selling, how to deliver that offer so that it's effective. And that takes time to figure out, and it can be one of the hardest parts of your business journey. But once you validate your marketing and sales processes as well as your delivery, things become so much easier. And that's when you can move into the next phase, which is all about growth. Growth is where you're taking an offer from about $10,000 in sales to 6 figures. It's where you've got validated processes and now you're doubling down on the things that work and releasing yourself from the things that don't work. This is how we grow. Once we're at about 6 figures, we look at scaling your business. Now, this might look like scaling your income so that you're moving from 6 to multiple 6 figures and beyond. It might look like you're delivering that offer, but you're delivering it to more people. It might look like you're delivering that offer, but being more efficient in the way that you deliver it so that you've got more time. Like one of my clients who was working a lot, she wanted to work 2 to 4 hours only per day. And that was her goal for the program. And that's what we achieved. So there's some of the key business goals you might be working with, and it just really depends on where you're at today with which goal you'll be working with. You might also want to expand your team or hire your first team member. There might be a particular business opportunity that is a dream for you that you'd love. Like some of our clients have written books, they've gone on to have TV programs, they've gone on to run incredible retreats and events, and so you use the mastermind for those outcomes. Others will actually want to use the mastermind to simply maintain the results they have, but to do it more sustainably. Or you might have something happening in your life that you want to prioritize. Maybe you've got a child that's about to be born. Maybe you've just had a new baby. Maybe you're looking at getting married. Maybe you're entering into a new relationship. Maybe you're single right now and want to prioritize dating. Maybe you're giving yourself a total life makeover. Perhaps you're going through something really difficult in your life, maybe a health issue or an injury, or maybe you need to care for a family member or someone else in your life. And so you need to look at how you prioritize your life and how your business can support you in doing that. Or perhaps you're simply looking at how to develop your expertise, how to feel more confident as a coach, a therapist, a space holder, a group facilitator, a mastermind facilitator, a consultant. Perhaps you want to know how you can truly be niche and industry leading. Or maybe you simply want to make sure that your relationship with growth and transformation is more sustainable or more positive, or you have a higher capacity to support your clients through that journey so that they can actually experience bigger results because you're willing to hold them in the parts of the journey where it feels really challenging. Or maybe you simply just want to understand more about what you need to thrive as a woman or as a human. You want to get better with your mindset or more connected leading your business from your intuition, or you want to work in your business in a cyclical way, or you want to support your body and nervous system to be regulated throughout your business and life journey. Maybe you want to explore feminine leadership and what that means to you. Maybe you want to activate more of your masculine energy, or you want to work with and embody more of your feminine energy. Maybe you want to work out how you bring a balance of these two energies into your business so that you're able to shift and draw on the energy that's needed most. Maybe you want to feel more creative and innovative. There are so many different goals, and all of them support you in your business and leadership as well as your life as a whole. And so the other piece I saw missing from the offers that are typically on the table for female entrepreneurs, as well as those of you working in the coaching and personal development industry, is an offer that's supporting you with this holistic approach to your business, is an offer that's supporting you with your professional development, with your business model and strategy and all the practical aspects of running a business, with your life coaching and personal development, with getting to understand you as a woman, as an individual, as a human, and with understanding growth and transformation itself. But truly, to be great as an entrepreneur and as a female entrepreneur, and to be great as anyone who works in the coaching and personal development industry, you have to have your finger on the pulse of all of these topics. And so the program can support you in each season of your journey with whatever it is you know you need to focus on. And what's beautiful is because I also am a relationship coach supporting people with conscious relationship work, all phases of the relationship cycle, breaking up, deciding whether to leave or stay, improving your relationship, dating, healing from heartbreak, starting a new relationship. I can support you also with all the relational aspects to being a human. So this program is special, it's unique, and it's my answer to something I see not there within our industry. And what we're really giving you is that partnership with the one-to-one aspect. You get 2 coaching calls a month. So it's like being in a one-to-one coaching program. Plus, you get a mastermind call every single month so that you also have this really highly effective mastermind. And not only is it a mastermind experience, we'll also be having conversations about key topics impacting female entrepreneurs as well as the coaching and personal development industry, which will be relevant for you whether you work in the industry or not, because the women I work with are, at the very least, passionate about their own coaching and personal development, which gives you an environment for success. I was sharing over on Instagram this week about how back in 2019, I had been not drinking for 2.5 years. I had a couple of drinks if I'd go on a holiday, and I also had a couple of drinks when I finished 1 year of no drinking, and I drank one day for my birthday at that time, and I realized, hey, this actually makes me feel not as good as when I'm sober, so I'm going to keep not drinking. And then when I was away on holidays, if I wanted to have a wine while I was in Greece or Italy or wherever over in Europe, I would allow myself to have a couple of glasses. But other than that, I wasn't drinking. And this was a huge change for me because I used to be a major drinker on the weekends, binge drinking like most people my age. And I wanted to stop that. So in 2017, I did a year of no drinking, and then I spent 2.5 years basically doing that. But it only took me being in the room with the people I used to drink with for less than half a day before that habit was interrupted. And so I talk about that story over on Instagram. You can go ahead and read about it. I took from that story how powerful my environment is. And that's where I really learned, okay, if I want the success that I am wanting, that I'm not seeing around me, I'm going to have to put myself in rooms with other people who have that kind of success. And that's why for me, I've always worked with coaches or been in masterminds or group programs and have made sure I keep putting myself in communities where I'm getting people who are also aligned with those values. And that's also why the mastermind component of this program is so important. So to be properly supported as an amazing woman in this industry, you need partnership and you also need community, aligned community. And it's so important how that community is managed and facilitated. And that is my zone of genius. It's very easy to go in communities and feel left out, to hide, to feel like you're not seen, you're not supported, and for it to be actually damaging. And this is the conversation that's going on in our industry right now. I think the biggest problem in these mastermind and group experiences is actually that the person facilitating it is not facilitating it from a place of equality. They facilitate it from a place of celebrity. I'm the celebrity, I'm on the pedestal, and you are all down here. And I'm not going to really get to know you intimately and deeply as a person. You're just going to be expanded by being in my energy and looking up to me. And this hierarchical approach to group and mastermind facilitation is just something I simply don't agree with. I really, from a personal lens, see my job in a mastermind context as being able to support each person in the way they need to be supported in order to be highly engaged in this community. If I can have each person highly engaged, then we're getting everything that's possible from each person in that community, which only makes the value of the community itself higher. And I understand that different people need different things. That's normal, right? We all have different needs. And because part of my model is supporting women to uncover what those differences are, it means that I, as their partner, have that information too, so that I can also support them. So if you've experienced feeling deeply alone in a mastermind or a group context before, I want you to know that that's not what you'll be experiencing in World Class. It is set up in such a way to really support you to thrive in a group setting. And I really, truly believe this is deeply healing. It's deeply healing for the sister wound. It's deeply healing so that you don't feel alone. And it's deeply healing because you get to experience a level of confidence within yourself in being a business leader, as well as in what you do, that you probably wouldn't access in any other environment. The environment is so important. And for those of you who run your own group programs, we will talk more about how to do this in the highest possible way. So, this is what I wanted to tell you about World Class. If this resonates for you, if you know that you want to keep accessing your world class potential, you know that that's a lifelong journey and you want to keep exploring that in each season of your life and your business, and you're ready to do that in the next season, and you want to be in a space where you're going to be so supported, not only with partnership and also this environment for success, which is the community, but you'll also receive practical support. Whatever resources I have for you, all of the different business courses I have, all of the different life worksheets and exercises and things that will help you with your actual life and with your relationship with yourself. Like, all of this is yours throughout the mastermind. You actually get personalized integration resources after every coaching call, so that whatever is coming up on our calls, whatever I have within my coaching library, I can give that to you. So you also get that practical support, which sometimes might look like business templates and trainings and anything I've got behind the scenes for my own business or I've created for clients before, or I can create for you, you get that. So you've got partnership, community, and support. And truly, this is what we need as business owners. So no matter where you are in your business journey, as long as you want to keep exploring your world-class potential, as long as you really want to show up and be the best at what you do and really position yourself to be niche and industry leading, or to maintain that because you care about what you do and you want support holistically, you want practical business support as well as support with your life and your personal development, as well as getting to know who you are on a deeper level. You want support with your craft and expertise and being the best at what you do as you can, as well as having the best relationship with your growth and transformation as you can, so that it can be more sustainable and easeful, and also your capacity to support others with their own growth and transformation expands. Then World Class is for you. And we start on the 14th of July. Now, we still have places available. If you would love to be considered for a place, please head to leticiaringe.com/she's world class. You'll find a button there to book a call. Please book in the call as soon as possible. This enables you and I to get on a call and to talk about everything that's happening right now. At the end of the call, I'm going to give you a personalized plan of what we will use World Class for in order to support you on your business and life journey. Then after the call, you'll go away for 48 hours and feel into whether this opportunity is aligned for you. Then you'll let me know whether you'd like to join us or not, and we'll start on the 14th of July. Now, if you're thinking about joining, but you know right now is not right for you, or you're listening to this at some point in the future, I'll be enrolling for the 2026 intake later this year, probably in about September or October. So you can start to get yourself ready and prepared for the application process. And if you're listening to this way down the line, just head to leticiaringe.com/She's Well Class, and it will tell you exactly what the details are for the next round or whatever is happening in my work and offerings at that time. Also, because this is the first round of the program, I'm offering it at a discount. I'm offering for you to join this first intake with a couple of $1,000 off what it will be in the next intake. So that's an advantage as well to join this current round. Remember, you're getting a mastermind as well as a one-to-one coaching program. All right, my beautiful friends, if you've got any questions whatsoever, just book in an application call and I'll see you there. Lots of love. Thank you for listening to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast, your go-to resource for personal development and coaching. To deepen your learning and practice, make sure you're subscribed to receive our community newsletter. Subscribe at leticiaringe.com/newsletter. And if you haven't yet left a 5-star review for the podcast, we ask that you please do that now so that this podcast can reach other listeners who also want to join us in creating a life that is beautiful.